I will be very disciplined with time because the time has been fast spent. So we have summarized all our positions in a written document which I believe has gone around to everyone in the House. A presentation by the Center for Human Rights and Accountability Network, the director Otoyekon Franklin Isong, at the public hearing of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly held at Luton Park Hotels off Udoma Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State on the 15th June 2026. We have appraised the three bills. The bill on a law for Akwa Ibom State Geographic Information Service, the Public Procurement Bill, and the Akwa Ibom State Senior Citizen Agency Establishment Bill. An overview of the Public Procurement Bill. It has 80 sections and is divided into 10 functional parts. In summary, the bill seeks to create an agency which shall have powers to regulate, monitor and supervise, evaluate and audit the public procurement processes of all procuring entities in the state and harmonize the existing government policies and practice on public procurement. Our input. In section 31, with the title Establishment of Direct Labour Committee, in subsection 2E, the CHRAN is of the view that the membership of the committee should include the Commissioner for Ministry of and not the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Humanitarian Affairs or its reps, because it is a very sensitive committee and we need the head of the agency to be a member, not the SSA to the Governor. In section 31, with the title Establishment of Direct Labour Committee, in subsection 2F, the CHRAN is of the view that the membership of the committee should include the Commissioner, Ministry of Special Duties, and not the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Special Duties or a representative of the ministry. In section 41, with the title Bid Opening, the CHRAN proposes inclusion of new subsection F and subsection G. The subsection F that we propose should read, during procurement implementation, the procuring entity shall invite 2 credible observers, one of the observers from a recognized private sector organization relevant to the procurement, and then the other observer from a recognized NGO or CSO, like us, working for transparency and accountability and to ensure that we have fairness in the competition. If you check section 19B of the Public Procurement Act 2007, the National Act now, it talks about the role of the observers. It brings us in. We are there to monitor the process, and then we ensure that everybody, is given equal opportunity to participate in the bid opening. Subsection G, we also propose should read, these observers do not participate or intervene in the procurement decision. The observers are to observe the process and submit their observation report to relevant bodies or their respective organizations. The observer's requirement is one of the transparency and accountability safeguards in the interest of the public. So we need to be there to observe, just to observe, not to go and interfere on who should win and who should not win in the bid. E. The CHRAN proposes that section 61 with the title E-Procurement should be deleted. The center states that in public procurement law, e-auction process, legally speaking, are most likely to violate transparency, accountability, fair play among the bidders, equal access to bidders, and proper record keeping. The CHRAN is opposed to this section. We don't want a case where you are doing procurement, and then by the time you know it, someone will just be appointed. We don't know the process, but they said it was picked through the process. We think that the ideal thing, we should be able to, as we are in this hall, if this were to be the hall where we are doing bid opening, everybody will know who bid for what, the figures will be read, and then we'll now pick the best. The committee will later on retire to their committee level and come out with the best. Using e-procurement process, sometimes it brings doubts, and then it raises questions as to the proper person who gets the job finally. In section 69, with the title Regulation for Special and Restricted Procurement Method, the CHRAN proposes that it reads, pursuant to section 41F and G, which is the one we are proposing to be added to this bill, that the agency shall issue regulation regarding section 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, and 68. Because if you look at these sections, you will see that they have brought in those special process that could be used to get a contractor or a bidder. And we are saying, even at that, even where the job is a special one and you don't want to waste time, still bring in the observers to observe the process to ensure that those that you pick, are competent and qualified to man the job. It is our view that section 62 to 68 have the potentials to reduce transparency in public procurement, grant unequal treatment to bidders, alter the original objectives of the procurement law, reduce competition to fewer bidders and less pressure to offer the best price and quality goods and services, risk of being, getting someone who is favored and also biased, unlike open bidding. These sections will encourage fewer suppliers and less public visibility, which may raise public concerns, and the government might be accused of picking someone that it favored. In section 70, with the title Review of the Agency, in the first line of the paragraph of subsection 5, the word afford, there is a typographical error there. The word afford should be replaced with the word offer. Overview of a bill on the Geographic Information Service. The bill has 25 sections and is divided into six parts. The summary is that the bill seeks to establish and maintain a state geographic information system to be known as the AKHA State Geographic Information System to enhance land use management and administration in the state. Our input on that bill, to the extent that the board sought to be established by this bill, will restrict its operations to the functions and objectives set out in this bill and avoid the temptation to conflict, duplicate, and or take over the function of and objectives of the Land Use and Allocation Committee of Akwa Ibom State, which is a body created pursuant to Section 2, Sub 2 of the Land Use Act 1978. The CHRAN supports the bill. In Section 6, H, with the title Composition of the Governing Council, the Center suggests that it should be the chairman, Land Use and Allocation Committee, or its reps, instead of the secretary, the very sensitive committee or board, as specifically mentioned in the bill. The board sought to be established by this bill has sensitive roles in the management and administration of land which complement the function and objectives of the Land Use and Allocation Committee. An overview of the bill on the Akwa Ibom Senior Citizen Center. The bill has 30 sections, divided into 6 functional parts, and has 1 schedule. Summary is that the bill seeks to establish the Akwa Ibom State Senior Citizen Agency to cater for the welfare, needs, and well-being of senior citizens in the state. Our input: the CHRAN endorses the bill. It is a good piece of legislation. When it becomes a law, it will provide a comprehensive legal framework for the protection and promotion of standards and programs for the well-being of senior citizens. Of course, like the NLC chairman, in a few years' time, I will also be a member of the senior citizen center, and I will benefit from it. So we support the bill wholeheartedly. Conclusion: the center commends the government of Akwa Ibom State and the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly for working round the clock to ensure that that requisite legislation is in place to sanitize the public procurement process of the state, a legislation for the geographic information system, and a legislation to create an agency to cater for the welfare and well-being of senior citizens of the state. When these bills become law, Akwa Ibom State will be counted among states that stand out in transparency and accountability in the handling of public funds. The state will have a framework for management of geographic information system in the local government areas, which will provide technical support for the processing of grants of customary rights of occupancy. And the state will be seen as one of the states that provides for welfare and well-being of its senior citizens. Of course, this will boost the Arise agenda of His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, the governor of Akwa Ibom State. The center supports the bills and urges all stakeholders in today's public hearing to close ranks and synergize towards the passage of this bill and making this bill to become a law, including the governor giving assent to it timely. The center appreciates the Speaker and members of the House of Assembly for inviting us to participate in today's bill. And finally, I want to add that subsequent public hearing, the time should be, as stipulated in the invite. Today's Speaker's reps have set the template, and it's very, very commendable. Thank you, sir.